Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. Hi, everybody. How you doing this evening? I tell you, somebody left me a message. I got to check it out. It says starting to look like Mad Magazine out there. I got to give some thumbs up and hearts to people that have been leaving me comments. I do appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that's showing up tonight for the broadcast. Everybody who tunes in afterwards. So. We've got a big clock ticking for not this Friday, but next Friday. Criminals got to turn themselves in for trying to defraud the world and take over the government illegally. Excuse me, I'll have a sip of water here. It's been hot out, folks, hadn't it? But I got a couple of videos. I'm going to start off while people are rolling in. Let me get this out of the way and see if anybody has seen what Roseanne had posted. Haha, this is kind of funny.
Thank you for joining us. I'm here with the prosecutors and investigators who have worked diligently on the investigation of criminal attempts to interfere in the administration of Georgia's 2020 presidential election. Today, based on information developed by that investigation, a Fulton County grand jury returned a true bill of indictment, charging 19 individuals with violations of Georgia law arising from a criminal conspiracy to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in this state.
You go, girl.
The indictment includes 41 felony counts and is 97 pages long. Please remember that everyone charged in this bill of indictment is presumed innocent. Specifically, the indictment brings felony charges against Donald John Trump.
I know the sound. I tell you, it's tough getting these Rumble videos. They got to do something with these texts on TikTok and Rumble. It's awful. I could do a video on Utizzle and get a clip, and it's a piece of cake. Everything sounds great. But anyway, let me see. Boy, we got a lot of people rolling in. How's everybody doing tonight? It's game on in Georgia. Nikki, how are you? Andrew, how you doing? Mike, 1176, how you doing? Boy, a lot of people have come in. Hi, Robin, nice to see you. Damon, B-Dog, Alicia, Marilyn, Randy, Sharon, Diane, Quilt. Everybody's rolling. How you doing, Marilyn? I don't want to mess up your last name, but welcome aboard. Hi, Lucy, how you doing? Jamie, let's see. Miss Mendersue says, God bless you all. How you doing, Doc? So, Gloria, how you doing? Sin. Hi, Ronald. So, everybody's rolling in. Diane's here. Everybody, Doc, everybody. Okay. That's good. So, if I miss anybody, I apologize. But let's try to have a fun night tonight. Keep our chins up. Well, I think looking at EO executive order, and it's 138, and the rest is 48. That's going to get renewed again by Sleepy Creepy if he makes it that long. Love to Garden, how you doing? And I want to thank Hilarious too. Left me a little surprise and buy me a coffee last night. I do appreciate that. The link works after the stream. That's for sure. I like having a little surprises like that and appreciate people supporting the broadcast. Hi, Willie. How you doing? Nice to meet you. So, hi, David. How you doing, David? So, anyway, that was a little thing. Hi, Cheryl. That Roseanne Barr posted. Hi, Marla, of Fanny Obama. Jamie, how you doing? So, I'll run that through the hopper a couple times and boost the sound up. Hi, Chris. What? How you doing? What is a man? That is a man. Well, I tell you, Fanny likes posing for pictures. Have you noticed that? She likes putting herself in these mysterious poses. Here's one of my poses. I poses like Moses. How I show up to family gatherings knowing all my conspiracy theories came true. How you doing, Outlandish? Nice to see you. So anyway, yeah, you might want to get a screenshot of that and put it up on here. Let's see if I can't read. I'll have to write down what his name is. But he does these man on the streets video. And he had another one, but it's so full of filthy language. I don't know what it is with young people. They know they're being recorded. They know they're going to be posted for everybody to see. And they just got to learn a little bit of self-respect and not use that kind of language. But, hey, what are you going to do? But anyway, let me play this little video for you.
Do you support Trump being indicted?
Definitely not. That man is the GOAT. He ran the fuck out the country. They just trying to set him up, for real. Trump 2024 for sure. Trump 2024.
No, fuck no. It's a witch hunt. They're doing whatever they can to get rid of him because they know he's powerful and they know he can actually do good change in this country. My boy Donnie was watching. You have more supporters than you ever know, bro.
Oh, I just seen that shit 2 days ago. Nope, they tricked y'all dumb to get Trump out the chair, and now look how that done backfired on y'all dumb. Trump got my back. Trump for life.
How do you feel about Trump getting indicted?
They need to free my boy. Out of every other president, they only doing this for him. He been exposing and they don't like that. Trump 2024, my brother.
I ain't used to like that. But now, bro, I realize that he meant well for the country. But we need that back. Free Trump. Trump 2024.
What's your thoughts on Trump getting indicted?
Basically, political persecution once again. They tried with Russia, they tried with January 6th, and this is what, like the 15th thing that they're going after Trump. I think this is just going to completely increase his support.
Would you say that your life was better off under Trump or Biden?
I ain't gonna lie. Trump, my mother dog.
Trump for sure, no question.
You say Trump, why?
Well, look at where we are, foreign policy, look at inflation, look at border security. It's not even a topic anymore. It's just he's got to go. We need to get America back, make America great again.
Again, we got to make America great again. So that came out pretty good. I tell you, I got up this morning. I started scrolling through videos, and I watched one. I said, "Man, I'm gonna have to get a clip of that," and I forgot. And while I'm setting up broadcast, I said, "Gee, I forgot to get that one clip." It was from a local station, and it actually had pieces of the recording of Trump talking to Georgia officials. So I'll play that for you in a minute. How you doing, Rubber Toe? How you doing, Lori? Let's see. Sassy Cat, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Waking Trillium, how you doing? Bambi, Jared. Gee, we got a lot of people coming in. Sometimes I'll wait. Yeah, Robin, lay down, rest your nerves, honey. We used to say, come on in, shake off your skin and rattle around in your bones. Just take it easy and rest your nerves. That's what I do, but half the time I fall asleep when I lay down. So anyway, I'm going to show you a couple of shots of the clerk of the court. And just a little thing I noticed. It's silly. I know it's so silly. But wait a second. Before I play that, I want to ask you guys: is this guy's last name Ford? He's on Fox News now. He's got rocks in his head. I guess he's the new Geraldo, devil's advocate, maybe. I don't know. But he starts off by saying, I agree with you, Judge Pirro. If they can prove he thought he didn't believe he won, he committed a crime. Anyway, I'll let you all listen to it.
federalism allows states to do to enforce their laws here. And we'll see, to your point, what you said is exactly right, Judge. His state of mind, if they have evidence showing his state of mind is different than what he claims, he'll have more of a problem.
But you don't think this is totally over the top as a judge? Or, I mean, even when everything you say makes sense, except it's all bullshit. It's all nonstop. We know this is designed to banish and isolate and to destroy a political outsider. Who predicted this? Chuck Schumer. Remember, he said, "Don't mess with intel agencies. Don't mess with the intel agencies. They'll arrest your team and keep it off the field."
I think do you not think he's done anything to deserve any of this?
He is probably one of the most troubling, consequential figures in history. But no, he doesn't deserve any of this.
And by the way, why didn't they indict him until he announced he was running for president?
Well, they probably had to do this.
You know, I forgot to mention about Greg Gutfeld was going to go say a wordy dirt, but he's laying out at what everybody's thinking Gutfeld is. Just, you know, it's a bunch of bull. And anyway, this is the judge. Now, I don't know his name, and if I did, I won't even mention it because they're going to be cracking down on people picking on judges. But he looks like Herman Munster with a bad case of AIDS. And anyway, the clerk is standing there receiving this and going to record it. I guess orange is a summertime color. I don't know. I shouldn't focus on orange. But anyway, you'll notice she was wearing orange all day. But anyway, you'll hear Trump. He's very straightforward. There's no trying to cut corners or get anybody to do anything nefarious. This is why I think this clip of him talking to on the phone is not being played by the big news services. Of course, it pretty much exonerates him, but that's just my opinion. I'll go ahead and play the clip.
ABC News can report an indictment was handed up by the Fulton County Grand Jury as it relates to the 2020 election interference probe, according to multiple sources familiar with the matter. A clerk for the Fulton County Superior Court in Atlanta, Georgia, presenting an indictment to a judge tonight. District Attorney Fani Willis launching the criminal investigation more than 2.5 years ago after former President Donald Trump was recorded in a phone call seemingly pressuring the state's top elections official to help him find the votes needed to win.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have. Because we want to say
Trump even heard suggesting Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger could face possible legal trouble if he refused to comply.
You know what they did and you're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense.
Trump has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, speaking out about the case in Iowa over the weekend. His team calling the probe a Democratic witch hunt to score political points, and they have made repeated attempts in court to disqualify Willis. Back in April, the DA signaled this day could come when she alerted law enforcement agents across Georgia to put security protocols in place ahead of a charging decision she said may, quote, provoke a significant reaction. Heightened security outside the courthouse with the Fulton County Sheriff saying Trump would be treated like anyone else charged with a crime.
Unless someone tells me differently, we are following our normal practices. And so it doesn't matter your status.
So, yeah, I got another clip of him saying, we got a mugshot for you. But anyway, sorry about that echo in there. But you heard Trump say, I won that state, okay? And what you're doing is criminal. You heard him say it. I get a cleaner clip of it if they don't take it down. How you doing, crazy Cajun lady? So, orange is the new black. Bambi, we were on the same page. Looked like Herman Munster. Did you say Utes when he was in the playing that role in the movies? Let's see. So anyway, here's a good little meme for you. If we can put serial numbers on every bill, we can put one on every BALLOT, right? There's a picture of a $10 bill. How you doing, Georgia? Nice to see you. So anyway, you might want to get a screenshot of that. But here's one I wanted to leave up while I was talking to everybody. I was going to get a clip of Rudy Giuliani, and he said that he's ready to testify to how corrupt and crooked they all are. And I tried to play that other clip of Rudy, and I think they do something. They seed those videos to where you have a hard time fooling with it. But Rudy was pretty fired up. He said, yeah, I have no problem testifying. I'm ready because I want to show just how corrupt and unethical all of them are. So he's ready to rock and roll. Hey, here's somebody, a blast from the past right here. Do you think that they ought to indict her because of what she's saying here? And she's got a supporter watching her.
You know, Joe Biden should not concede under any circumstances because I think this is going to drag out, and eventually I do believe he will win if we don't give an inch.
Oh, Hillary. You may have committed a crime there. Well, there's so much stuff going on, stuff coming out about that Hawaii stuff. It's surprising how many people that don't normally talk about conspiracy stuff are starting to talk about Hawaii. And they're blaming it all on climate change. And we know it was arson. We know in our hearts now how it was done, what the method was used. It's probably a combination of methods. But anyway, here's a little videotape of how these windmills are working. You see in the background, some of them turning real slow, some of them not turning at all. What a waste these things are. You know, it would probably take years for this thing to generate enough electricity to even justify its construction, enough energy. And look at it spewing out all that carbon footprint. Somebody called. It got cut off there, but somebody called Greta for all that carbon coming out of there. I got to find that one article I had about 3 weeks ago, and I didn't get a chance to put it up. It was about the fires in Greece, and I may have to go out of the studio to get that. But do you all remember there were fires on an island in Greece? And let me see if I got that handy. There's one. There we go. Put that in there and put it on the screen. There we go. Man-made climate change. Majority of Greek wildfires result of arson, minister admits. This was about 3 weeks ago. I didn't get to put it up. But same thing. This was about the same time they got that drone footage of a guy going around starting fires in Italy. So they're coordinated. And you know one thing that they're finding out with that situation in Michigan where they found the all those 10,000 ballots per day, some of these mules putting it in, they raided them and they found how they're paying them with gift cards. Hi, Melinda. They're paying them with gift cards. You remember Joe passed that IRS rule if you sell anything on eBay or money from these Etsy or any of these places that you've got to report it to the IRS over 600. Well, they don't have that requirement with gift cards. And how do you think they've been paying these people to show up at peaceful protest after peaceful protest after peaceful protest. They've been using gift cards. How they've been paying them. Some of them get $20, $30, $40 a piece of paper that you put in a box, right? You know what I'm talking about? Around November, how do they pay them? How do they pay it? Where they think it's hard to trace. Here's a good one for you right here. They're trying to get everybody scared that we're the cause of the earth being destroyed and make you miserable every time you take a breath or if you light a gas stove. This is a good little clip here to send somebody.
If all the people in the world, 9 billion inhabitants, stood next to each other, 4 people per 1 square meter, the entire human population would fit on an area the size of the Istrian Peninsula. If each person in the world were provided with a space of about 1,000 square meters to grow food for themselves, the entire human population would fit on an area equivalent to the size of Brazil. If each 4-member family were provided with a space of about 700 square meters to grow food for themselves, the entire human population would fit on an area equivalent to Iran. In 2019, it was estimated that there were approximately 7.7 billion people in the world. Almost all the necessary vegetable quantities for a 4-member family can be produced on about 200 square meters of garden space. It is known that arable land currently covers an area of about 31 million square kilometers. On this land, the vegetable quantities needed to feed 155 billion people, or over 38 billion 4-member families, could be grown. There are not too many people. There is more than enough space for everyone, except for greed.
She should have said except for criminals, but okay. We'll say greed. Ha. Yeah, Georgie, you can put hundreds on gift cards. And the thing about that is they passed another law in a lot of states have passed this law that you can take your gift cards and get cash now. And there's no normal way to trace that. So we have... And I'm wondering if that doesn't have something to do with what Sidney Powell was saying she was going to be filing. And, as an authorized prosecutor for the Department of Defense, maybe she's got a grand jury going. Maybe she's got some indictments of her own. That's how the tables can be turned. One way the tables can be turned. I have to listen to her again. How you doing, Tennessee? Nice to see you. So, anyway, yeah, those gift cards, and once you find out what company they use to buy the gift cards, you can track down a lot of accomplices. Hi, Finding Dory. How are you? Yes, hit the like button and share. How you doing, Thor? Nice to meet you. You can take a Visa gift card to an ATM and get cash. That's right. I don't know what kind of gift cards they were using. I'm sure they run the gamut. And also, I was talking about the game comms, where they communicate around the world using those Star Wars games, Xbox games. They didn't think we knew about it, but the military did know about it. Here is a guy, this is the second video he put out about the wildfires. One thing, before he did this video, after he did this video, it came out that the person who was in charge of the emergency there, whoever the lead officer down in Hawaii or over in Hawaii, turns out he's the same one that was the crisis manager or commander at the incident in Mandalay Bay. Have you all heard that? Yeah. Well, this guy's got a little something to say about Hawaii.
Conspiracy theorists are saying that there's something funny going on with the Maui fires that happened. They're saying that it was done on purpose. I'm here to tell you right now, there's no way that that's true. It's all just one big coincidence. What do you think? Fire just came down out of the sky and lit this thing up? Don't look at that. It's just a coincidence. It's a coincidence that Oprah owns over 800 acres right next to where the fires happened. It's a coincidence how they just got done talking about the fact that they want to make Maui a 15-minute city. It's a coincidence that the houses burned up, but the trees didn't. It's a coincidence that 60-mile-an-hour winds came from a hurricane that didn't bring any rain and blew the fire in a way that completely destroyed everything. A couple years ago, Mountain Dew came out with a new flavor, Maui Burst. And it's just a coincidence that Maui burst into flames recently. It's just a coincidence that these dudes look like they're burning up in a fire. It's all just one big coincidence. So can we just stop with these crazy conspiracy theories already? I don't care how much evidence you have. I don't care how logical your argument is. Just stop and trust the government already. And stop trying to wake people up. This whole Maui thing is just one big fat coincidence.
One big fat coinky dink. Ha ha. Yeah, Tennessee, I saw that about the judges' wives. They said follow the wives. And it's not just for people like Dr. Fauci or Ouchie. And I got to watch it. I've been taking too many chances to get my video taken down. But anyway, yeah, the judge, all the judges' wives they're tangled all together. It's a spider web, and here we go. I think we're going to see a lot of that spider web. When's he going to be back in the news? Let me get that to a good size so you can get a screenshot and share it with all your friends. Don't forget now to go. You can join a political group over in, what do they call it? seniorsubway.com and put Mountain Man one word and you get in there for free. Don't ever a gold membership for free and just take a look at it and see if you enjoy it. And I think you will. It is a freebie given to me to let my viewers join if they care to by a very good friend of mine I've known for 40 years. So, or close to that. So anyway, seniorsubway.com. And you can post these memes and start a group of friends, probably, hey, from all around the world, really. And I talked about it last night. How you doing, Richard? Hi, Christina. So, let's see. Hi, Donna. How are you doing? Crazy Cajun lady. Nice to see you. So, yeah, Georgia, I see you put WOW in there. That Mandalay Bay incident commander, or whatever they called him, he's the same guy that gave that crazy press conference talking about how they're going to rebuild the village to some kind of, using real crazy lingo. I'll have to get a clip of that. It is weird when you listen to that guy. And you know what? I'm glad that RFK is in the game. I'm glad he's bringing up what happened to his father. He's bringing up what's been going on, Big Pharma. And I'm glad he is outraging Dems' outrage at RFK Jr. after ABORT comments, okay? But everybody got into a knee-jerk thing. Oh, he'd be great to be Trump's vice president. It would unify everybody, the Democrats, Republicans. Hey, the hardline Democrats hate RFK, period. It would not create unity. And RFK is quite the socialist. And let me see what the text here says. Newsmax said, Dems outrage at RFK Jr. Presidential candidate Robert Kennedy sparked outrage for his remarks Sunday on abortion restrictions. And what he has said was that after the third month, that he felt the state had a compelling interest after the third month. Okay, so at least that is something. It's more time than I want to give. I'm much more firm in the thought that life is precious in all stages and condition, just like Pope Benedict, the Rottweiler for the church. But at least this is an acknowledgement that the state has a compelling interest in another human being's life. Like Trump said, it's a negotiating point. It's a start. How you doing, Lone Wolf? Oh, you need a password, Lone Wolf. I'll have to find out about that and give you all updates. But I need a password. They don't put where you can just make up a password? I'll have to ask her. I'll get back with you on that, folks. But I think you all will enjoy it once you get in there. I got a little video clip I'll have to find and play it next time I do a picture show. But anyway, it's a start, folks. It's a start from the left-hand side saying that a human being has rights and the state has a compelling interest of a child in the womb. Got to start somewhere, right, folks? Let's see what Mr. T had to say today. He's being careful, but he's not restricting what he wants to say. These monsters, all controlled and coordinated by the DOJ and radical left lunatics, are criminalizing political speech, a total shutdown of democracy. I know where he's driving at. Where he's driving at is that the Constitution is no longer functioning. That's where he's getting at. Shut down a democracy. The Constitution has been shut down. And when he comes out and says that, that's going to be a signal. And then here he says, crooked Joe Biden is totally controlled by China, Ukraine, and various other countries. They know everything about him, all of his misdeeds. He is a compromised president who is leading our country to hell. He is a Manchurian candidate. And what did he say? He said that he predicted that China was going to drop a dime on Biden, and they were going to put out information that the Biden administration would not survive. Remember he said that, folks? And Quilt says, I think they are supposed to email you a temporary login password. Okay, well, I will find out about the bugaboos. I got a hotline straight to administration for that site. We want a site where mature people can go and be protected, not put up with a bunch of crapola and enjoy things mature people enjoy. All kinds of stuff. So anyway, here we've got Midas crap. Alina Habba says she has super secret info that will exonerate Trump, and they put a laughy face up. Well, we'll see who's laughing. We'll see who's laughing because Trump said he's going to have a report. He's going to be getting a report, and he's going to put it out there. Hi, Cliff. How you doing? No, you don't pay nothing, Lone Wolf. It's all free. I just don't know the specifics of how to sign up. I was just told that they go to seniorsubway.com, enter Mountain Man, I guess in a promo code. If there's a place to put a promo code, I forget that's what they call that stuff. You put Mountain Man, all one word, in a promo code. But if there's another step I didn't know about, I'll find out And that way everybody can get rolling and have some fun. That's what I'm hoping. Hi, Melvita. How are you doing? Oh, you played the Tucker interview. Oh. That's okay. Lone Wolf, that's great. That's right. Ha ha. T's attorney is a bad mama. So I don't know how they work it, but we'll find out. We'll get it squared away. And it's for other people, the others. It's a $30 membership for a gold membership per year. But anybody that signs up this month, through this, I think it's through this month, or maybe hopefully I can talk her into next month. You can be there for free for life. Don't never pay. So nothing wrong with that. Okay, let me see. Here's another meme for you. What's going to be coming out? The media isn't silent on child trafficking, S3X trafficking, because of the children. It's because of who the customers are. Read this again. Hi, Karen. How are you? You know, and the other day I was thinking, we haven't heard anything out of Sidney Powell for, I think, like a year. And then we played her interview a couple of times, a couple of broadcasts earlier in the week. She just popped up out of nowhere. Same as it political psychologist Jan Halper, what's her name? I forget. Lady in Orange. And, well, then don't you know, you've got Fannie and Jack Smith talking about jamming up Sidney Powell. They've charged her as a co-conspirator out of the blue after she said she was going to be dropping something biblical. Well, the other person we haven't heard them picking on has been Pillow Man, right? Pillow Man. Could he be one of the unindicted co-conspirators? We shall see. Here's a report that lays out some of the mainstream media's BS. And you'll hear how they drag Nixon's name into it, trying to get people to think about when Nixon got impeached. And of course, a lot of people don't know 10 cents of the history behind Nixon. But here is the Mockingbird media in all of its glory.
Indictment of Trump. It said he was indicted. He was arraigned. He now operative. Everyone knows the largest news that came in the coup indictment of Trump. It said he was indicted. He was arraigned. He now awaits criminal trial. That's all about him, and Trump will be judged on those several plots that we've been charting. So initial reactions to this have understandably focused on Trump's culpability for the indicted plots you see on your screen. But when you look at them, 5 of the schemes are now indicted conspiracies. That means the DOJ alleges they involved other people. You cannot do a conspiracy alone. The law requires 2 or more people. Think of it as the tennis of federal law. You don't need a whole team, but you definitely need at least one other person to be in the game. And Jack Smith is saying the other people in the game with Trump are these co-conspirators. He names 6 total, but has not indicted any of them, at least not yet. But even being an unindicted co-conspirator is a big deal. We know that in law and history, the nation was quite concerned when prosecutors named Nixon as an unindicted co-conspirator in Watergate.
I'm not a crook.
President Nixon has been named by a grand jury as a conspirator in the Watergate cover-up.
1 year of Watergate is enough.
The jury voted unanimously to name Mr. Nixon as an unindicted conspirator.
I have never obstructed justice.
The jury believed the president was part of the cover-up crime, but it did not accuse him specifically of that crime.
Unindicted co-conspirators. You saw that then in Watergate. It's Big Smith is running this same play against these new co-conspirators. 6 total, 5 identified on your screen. The DOJ found these several people trying to help a criminal president. Now, there are questions if this is part of a Jack Smith plan to leave open the threat of other charges.
Yeah, well, now that's Jack Smith. He's got 6. Now you got Fanny's got 18 more. So that they have named. But they say again, on top of that, they have unindicted co-conspirators, according to Fannie Willis and Jack Smith. So we're going to be finding out UN indicted co-conspirator. That's a good one, Georgia. Yeah, MSDNC. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Tennessee. I haven't even heard his name mentioned. That's what I find extremely interesting. You know, Mr. T brings him up every single rally that he's there. Mr. T brings him up and says he's the greatest advertiser around and stuff like that. But that one time he did disclose that the military's getting a lot of nice pillows, blankets, who knows what else. So now we know how he's surviving. So this is a little clip. Let me see if this is the right one, where somebody's asking Fannie Willis about the mistake they made. Oh, this is a good little funny clip here. How things are going. Jean Pierre, she's talking about how good things are with the Biden administration in America. I don't know if you all have got a chance to see this one yet.
We're seeing what we're seeing is that we are in a transition. We had this strong economic growth because of the work that this president has done in the past 18 months. And now what we're seeing is a transition into stable and steady.
So anyway, but let's see. Here's that clip of the sheriff saying, "We got a mugshot for you." You know, I can't believe that there's such little respect for the office. Such little respect. But, you know, who knows if he'd been told to play a role or not, but he doesn't look like the brightest bulb.
We are following our normal practices. And so it doesn't matter your status. We have mugshots ready for you.
So I don't view the mugshot as a big deal. The concern is cuffs and them trying to confine him to a jail cell. But Jack Posobiec put up something pretty interesting that they can't copyright mugshots, and they're publicly available. They have to be made publicly available, and they can't be copyrighted. That means people can do what they want. They can use them for T-shirts or do so. You know, hey, he's the most photographed person in the world, probably in history. So who cares if they do a mugshot? We'll do a backflip on them and turn a negative into a positive. Now, here is a stone cold rhino right here. This guy. This is a Republican I've never heard of. And yeah, that somebody was right in the chats the other night. That is the chick that did the town hall with Mr. T and got her backside handed to her. But anyway, listen to how this guy talks about Mr. T and what he's done to Georgia. This is a rhino with a capital R.
This feels different. You know what? Donald Trump did his most damage in Georgia. He sucked the soul out of the Republican Party here. He sucked the morality out of the Republican Party, the fiscal responsibility out of the Republican Party. He sucked our winning percentage out of the Republican Party. He's taken everything from us, and it is our turn to take it back, right? It's our turn to win elections based on the policies that we think we're better on. This is the prime spot for us to take Joe Biden to the woodshed and call him out for not running the board. If it's about the three-ring circus of Donald Trump, we will lose, lose, and lose again.
You make a good point that
Yeah, right. Three-ring circus of Donald Trump. He's done so much damage in Georgia. Yeah, he's done damage to the status quo and all the crooked politicians who have been hanging on to power. And that includes the rhinos. Get out of here, you bum. So, yeah, the people of Georgia need to really crack down on identifying who is doing things that are best for the people and who is not. And I'll put this meme back up in a little bit here, but here's one I know you'll like. I got to figure out what to put on this one. But I'll put on something like, I'll have to think of something that's non-threatening. I see a young creator on YouTube putting up some pretty vile stuff. Sometimes he puts up, some good memes, but then he'll put up stuff that is similar to what the guy in Utah was putting out. And I tell you, people got to watch themselves. They haven't taken him down, and that worries me. But anyway, I'll talk about him. Hopefully nothing will ever happen. I'll never have to talk about him, but hopefully. But this is something I had in my studio for about 2 weeks, I think. Philip Schuler put this up. When the count was halted. This is a good one. This was back in August 9th, 2023. There you go. And if people say, well, it's because of the ones that got sent through the MAIL. See, that's the one thing I can't talk about on YouTube, okay? The postal situation. I can't, I get in trouble for that. But anyway, a reasonable you look at those numbers. Trump was up in Pennsylvania by 682,000. Georgia, where they're causing this trouble, 311,000. And you heard in that video I played earlier, how many Trump needed? It was not even 5% of what he was up by. Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina. So at 4 a.m., vans came and intelligence agencies took America. Eyewitness testimony, cell phone footage. So that's a little something to give some of your doubters. Here's something to make you about half sick right here. Spot the fake doctor. Oh my God. And why would you even hang with people like that? I'm just looking at the chat real quick, folks. Yeah, RFK is going to be putting out. I tell you, when this, I got another video showing the schedule of, here we go. Here's a schedule of these indictments, and I blow it up real big. Let's see, August 11, August 23rd, first GOP debate, attendance to be announced. August 25th is the deadline to surrender. So that's next Friday is the deadline to surrender. So the debates are scheduled for next Wednesday. And a lot of people were saying Mr. T could go on Joe Rogan's show. And if he goes on Joe Rogan's show, they're going to be talking about the alternative medications, okay? That's what I think, one of the many topics. Let me get this where you get it all in the screenshot if you want. But it shows how all these court cases are conflicting with the campaign. So anyway, I'm just seeing what's going on in the chats. And if he goes on Joe Rogan's at the same time they're having their little debate, it's going to be something hard for them to overcome. But here's this clip right here. That didn't even, I couldn't even get the volume going. Well, let me try it. I had a long clip of Lindsey Graham. Now, I'm going to tell you about Lindsey Graham. I got problems with him. Everybody's got problems with him. But I follow the leader, and Mr. T said he comes through when you need him. And also, he's the one that pushed Kavanaugh over the line. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right, Tennessee. Here comes redemption. That'd be a good one. Or retribution, but they'll take that as a threat, so I won't do that part. Redemption, that's a good one. That's not menacing at all, is it? Anyway, let's listen to what Lindsey Graham's got to say.
Prosecutors start prosecuting the President of the United States, the former President of the United States, you open up Pandora's box to the presidency. This whole exercise of allowing a county prosecutor to go after a former President of the United States will do a lot of damage to the presidency itself over time. To my Democratic friends, be careful what you wish for.
To my Democratic friends, be careful what you wish for. So that could be just a little message right there. And let's see if I didn't play this one yet. This is a short clip here. Let me see. Where Fani Willis makes a quick statement, I believe, about them publishing that indictment too early, what she had to say about it.
Can you tell us more about that document leak? Because now you have the former president's lawyers who are saying that this is emblematic of a serious problem with your office.
No, I can't tell you anything about what you refer to. What I can tell you is that we had a grand jury here in Fulton County. They deliberated till almost 8 o'clock, if not right after 8 o'clock. An indictment was returned.
Well, I thought she was going to say, well, we don't care about Trump's attorneys. We'll just arrest them, which is what their plan is. Just what Greg Gutfeld said is a bunch of BS. So here's a clip. I better get out of the way since it's getting late in the broadcast. You take a look at this rogues gallery. They put up all these pictures of people being indicted co-conspirators and all this garbage. Phony Willis, right, Georgia? So anyway, here's the usual crapola from MSDNC.
This happened overnight. The indictment is almost 100 pages long, and some Republicans were quick to jump in front of cameras and make ridiculous parallels to this.
Well, it's because they're still playing the game of politics, and they somehow missed the memo months ago that this has turned from a political facade, a political charade, into a deadly serious legal issue, regardless of where the indictments are. So they can lie all they want. They can try to puff up smoke. They can talk about Hunter Biden. As we've said before, Hunter Biden will be judged. He'll be judged in a court of law, and he'll be judged by a jury. And however that jury rules will be how things are determined. So Ted Cruz and the rest of them can can huff and puff and try to blow the house down, but it doesn't change a damn thing about Donald Trump's future. His future rests, whether he's in jail for the rest of his life or whether he's a free man. It doesn't rest on Truth Social. It rests in a jury box. And that's going to be in 4 different jury boxes now. Joyce Vance, your takeaway from what you saw in Georgia last night.
Interesting. I just stopped the video real quick to say that is going to be a recurring theme you're going to hear from the Mockingbird media. I've heard it in several different channels, not just CNN, DNC, but they say that his fate is in the hands of a jury, just like every other American. So they're doing this Pontius Pilate business, washing their hands of responsibility while they're trying to drive nails in his coffin. But they're throwing it all in the laps of juries. You'll hear that over and over again. Choice of words, Joe.
Well, Joe, it's a broad and a sweeping indictment, as we've all been discussing. Something that I'm intrigued by is the appearance at least 89 times in the indictment of the phrase unindicted co-conspirator. And prosecutors like Chuck and me, when you see that in an indictment, you begin to wonder if there's cooperation going on, because that suggests that the grand jury at least knows about these folks, may have heard from them, and they appear in some key junctures in the charges that Willis brings. There's mention of an unindicted co-conspirator on January 6 and January 7 as Sidney Powell goes into Georgia, into Coffee County, and illegally accesses voting machines in that friendly county that is Republican-controlled. There's mention of unindicted co-conspirators in White House meetings in late December when obstruction of the electoral count is discussed. And it's been difficult for prosecutors who've investigated Trump to get insider cooperation in the past, both in cases like this one that are related to the election, also in cases related to Trump's other dealings. He maintains fierce loyalty in those around him. If that bubble has finally burst, and if there are unindicted co-conspirators walking into this indictment who are cooperating, Willis may well flip some of these folks who are indicted alongside Trump and be able to present a firsthand, very detailed picture of this conduct to the jury that ultimately hears the case against Donald Trump.
Chuck Rosenberg,
To us, these people sound like they're insane. They're out of their mind. They're talking, if he gets just convicted of one charge, there's nothing the judge can do. It's a mandatory minimum of 5 years. And he got all these drooling Trump haters sitting on the edges of their seats for no other reason, but they've had a bunch of misinformation pumped in their heads, and they've got childlike hatred. But anyway, I'll let this go on.
Serious defendants have 10 days to, quote,
turn themselves in. What might be different in Georgia in terms of process? What will you be looking for there? And then overall, what stands out to you in this nearly 100-page indictment?
Yeah, well, first, I agree with Joyce, which is always a safe position. Broad and sweeping indictment, and the number of unindicted co-conspirators, Mika, as Joyce referred to, is telling. The other thing that's really interesting to me is that the feds took a very different approach to their election interference case. Mr. Trump was the lone defendant in the federal case in D.C. with 6 unindicted co-conspirators. Here he is one of 19 co-defendants with 30 unindicted co-conspirators. I don't mean to suggest that one is wrong or one is right. They both may succeed. I suspect they will. But they're very different approaches. And then to a point that Joe made, which I think is really important. Lots of people are going to say lots of things about these various cases. Folks like Senator Cruz, and I don't mean to pick on him, but he sort of volunteered. What they say has no meaning. There will be 4 trials unless folks plead guilty. That means there'll be 48 people, 4 sets of juries, 12 people on each jury, who will determine whether or not these charges are valid. That's it. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be Senator Cruz. It's not going to be anyone else. We're not going to qualify for any of these juries. going to be 48 people in 4 jurisdictions who are going to decide. Prosecutors don't put words in an indictment unless they can prove it. So assuming they can prove it, Mr. Trump is in a lot of trouble. So are a whole bunch of other
Tell
people,
that
too.
to
That
Kyle
is one of the
Rittenhouse.
striking things about this newest indictment. The breadth and the scope, as Joyce said, the sweeping nature of the indictment, but the number of people who have been charged is utterly fascinating, complicates the case, but gives us rich detail and something to really follow in the months. And
he said, then he finished it by saying, and perhaps the years ahead. Well, it's going to be years. People are going to be talking about this. You wait and see. I don't know when the hammer's going to drop. But this is kind of ridiculous talk, making it seem like his conviction is a foregone conclusion. That's the conspiracy. That's the undermining of the American political system, and it's going to be exposed. Remember what Lindsey Graham said about county prosecutors going after people? To my Democrat friends, be careful what you wish for. And I'll play Newt Gingrich here, what he's got to say. And pretty much along the same vein. And he uses a term we haven't heard in a while. Oh, by the way, this is a viewer-supported and creator-supported channel only. I don't get any help from anybody, but the fine folks that stop by to buy me a coffee. It's got a link in the description for anybody who wants to help out. And like I said, hilarious too. I haven't seen her tonight, but she helped out in Tennessee's been helping out a lot. Gary helped me out last night. Lone Wolf's helped me out. I got to put a list on this particular application. But anyway, let's listen to what Newt Gingrich got to say.
Action to that part of it.
Well, I think what you're seeing tonight is one tree in a forest. And I think we are drifting towards the greatest constitutional crisis since the 1850s and the rise of secession and the Civil War. I don't mean that as hyperbole. If you read Andy McCarthy's remarkable book, Ball of Collusion, which came out in 2019, he makes very clear that it is Barack Obama who corrupts the Justice Department. It is Hillary Clinton who routinely breaks the law and gets away with it. And now we have Joe Biden who's learned. He's learned from Obama that doesn't matter what you do, if you're a liberal Democrat, you will not be prosecuted. He learned from Hillary that a person in high public office can get millions and millions of dollars. And they learned from watching Donald Trump that a true outsider willing to take on the entire system could destroy their entire machine. So what you're seeing across the country is a desperate last-ditch effort by a corrupt machine to destroy their most dangerous opponent in a way which not only breaks the Constitution, destroys the rule of law, and establishes a moment of bitterness, which I think will last for a generation or more. I think this is going to be a horrendous period, and we just need to understand the people who want to control America and dictate to the rest of us will break any law, lie about any topic, and manipulate the system any way they can, and that includes a lot of the elite news media.
I would play that again and listen to it and take every word to heart. And what we've all been trying to do, be prepared. Okay, it is going to be a horrendous time. It is going to cause hard feelings for a generation. And it's out of control. And we got to get it back in control. And I believe this is a clip of an attorney who pretty much tells it like it is. And I don't know if he's been indicted or been sanctioned or fined or whatever. But anyway, I'm going to play this short clip. You all enjoy it. And I've gone over my hour. And I appreciate you all joining me tonight and helping me out and spending your precious time with me. So have fun enjoy watching this clip. As for me, though, this is Mountain Man over and out.
Joe Biden at one point say that Hunter Biden had no dealings, got no money from China. We now see from Hunter's own words that that's not true. Does any of this raise concerns for you? You know, the money from Ukraine, the money from China, the money from Russia. Does any of this, well, you know, look, whether or not it's criminal, whether or not it warrants special counsel status, are you concerned about this stuff? Here's what I'm concerned.
Okay, I had to come back in. I'm sorry. This is a different clip. This is how Jamie Raskin, how the Mockingbird media is twisting it all around. And at least they have brought up the crimes, okay? And I wanted to point that out in another stream. At least what he just did, he laid out the crimes. But watch how Jamie Raskin tries to turn it over into Trump's lap. And then I'm going to play that attorney that pretty much lays it out as to how simple this case is.
About during the Trump administration, we saw the development of a completely new public philosophy, which is that government is not an instrument of the common good and the public interest. Government is an instrument for private self-enrichment, for the guy who gets in, for his family, for his private businesses. And that's a model that we're seeing all.
Yeah, you're full of it. But anyway, I'm sorry about that. Let me put this guy up here. He's going to lay it out exactly how simple this situation is. And don't you know it would be on something on OAN, not something you would see on the other news agencies. But anyway, once again, I'll let you watch this. Thank you once again. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Optimistic that he is going to prevail? Is it simply Judge Cannon overseeing the initial early stages? Does President Trump have a very compelling argument? Is the burden of proof on the government here? Break down why you are optimistic regarding this.
I'm optimistic Trump will prevail because the law is on his side. The Biden Justice Department has intentionally misled federal courts. They tried to do it with Judge Cannon. She was smarter than that. They did it with the 11th Circuit, and they were weak and cowed. But the Presidential Records Act controls a former president's handling of his presidential records. It does not matter whether they're classified or not. These records were very secure in the office of former president for 18 months after Trump left office. They began leaking when Biden had his Justice Department raid Trump and started leaking these documents.